पारुल मैम के लिए जोरदार तालियां।
Please rise from your seat to welcome the chief guest of the day, Dr. Jitendra Singh.
तालियां बस दी। Come on guys, let's hear it for the chief guest, Dr. Jitendra Singh, Union Minister of State, Ministry of Science and Technology and Ministry of Earth Sciences at the Government of India. जोरदार तालियों के साथ डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह का स्वागत करते हैं हम Parul University. Come on guys, let's hear it for him. Guys, I'll request everyone to please quickly settle down, take your seats. And as we gather here with a vision for Viksit Bharat 2047, it's a historic day here at Parul University, जहां पर हम दो लैंडमार्क चीजों का इनॉग्रेशन आज कर रहे हैं, the Center for Future Skills Lakshya 2047 and Cadaveric Center at Pragya Skills Lab. मैं चाहता हूं कि एक बार हमारे डिग्निटरीज के लिए जोरदार तालियां हो जाए, पारुल यूनिवर्सिटी के लिए जोरदार तालियां हो जाए और हमारे आज के जो चीफ गेस्ट हैं उनके लिए डबल जोरदार तालियां हो जाए। Dr. Jitendra Singh, born in remote hills of Doda, Jammu and Kashmir, he rose to become one of India's most respected physician politicians, a man who resigned from his government job as a professor of medicine and endocrinology to dedicate himself entirely to public service. MBBS from Stanley Medical College, Chennai, MD Medicine and Fellowship in Diabetes from AIIMS, New Delhi, a professor of diabetes and endocrinology of international repute. उन्होंने 5 बुक्स को ऑथर किया है और बहुत सारे उन्होंने आर्टिकल्स अब तक more than 5,000 आर्टिकल्स उनके पब्लिश हुए हैं. He has been elected consecutively to the 16th, 17th and the 18th Lok Sabha from Udhampur, Jammu Kashmir, 2014, 19 and 2024. Today he holds the charge of 6 India's most significant portfolios: Science and Technology, Earth Sciences, the Prime Minister's Office, Personnel and Public Grievances, Atomic Energy and Space. Once again, let's hear it for Dr. Jitendra Singh for being here at Parul University. Without wasting much time, I'll quickly request the President of Parul University, Dr. Devanshu Patel, to formally welcome Dr. Jitendra Singh. Can I please request for the bouquet? इसी के साथ मैं गुजारिश करूंगा डॉक्टर किरण राजगना का, जो सीईओ है एथनोटेक एकेडमी का, कि वो भी मंच पर आए और हमारे चीफ गेस्ट का स्वागत करें. डॉक्टर किरण फ्रॉम एथनोटेक एकेडमी. And without wasting even a single minute more, I'll now request our chief guest, Dr. Jitendra Singh, to address our students. Sir, हमारे students कब से इंतजार में हैं? Let's hear it for our president, Dr. Devanshu Patel.
Very good afternoon to all the dear students. On behalf of entire university, I welcome Dr. Jitendra Singh, sir, for inauguration of Lakshya 2047, a Center for Future Skills at Parul University. And through this center, our students would be able to experience AR and VR labs. They'll be able to experience AI labs, drone labs, industrial automation, drone labs, prototyping labs, and very recently inaugurated cadaveric lab. And I believe this is an opportunity for all the students to use this facility, to experiment and to learn from it, and also to fail, because innovation can't be learned without failures, just like Wi-Fi cannot work, without an internet. So a great opportunity, and it is our privilege to have Dr. Jitendra Singh sir on the campus of Parul University. And he agreed on the first meeting itself to come and inaugurate. He was also kind enough to meet 100 odd students from his own constituency at Parul University, and he was very happy to interact with them. And his presence will also bring a lot of credibility for the university in the government setup, in the bureaucratic setup in Delhi. And it will bring a lot of laurels and opportunities for all of us in time to come. Once again, welcome sir. Thank you for your presence.
And now I would request our chief guest, Dr. Jitendra Singh sir, to please come at the podium for his keynote address. Can we please rise at our seats and welcome him? Come on.
President Dr. Devanshu Patel, members of the faculty, dear students, ladies and gentlemen, at the outset, thank you for a very kind introduction. Now you made my task very tough. I have to live up to all those tall words that you spoke about me, and I hope these students will forgive me if I'm not able to live up to that expectation. So nevertheless, of course, this is my first visit to Parul University, and I'm sure I'm going back wiser than before, having learned so many things over here. I look forward to learn one new thing at least every day. So it's been a learning experience being over here. And I also must appreciate the management for having come up with such a versatile and a vast institutional setup in this part of the country. And it's also living up to the current concept of having a single campus holistic curriculum containing all the departments simultaneously in the same premises. Now, and at the outset, I have also to congratulate you for the two inaugurations done today. One, of course, the Lakshya Center for Future Skills, and the other one, of course, as was being mentioned by the President, the Cadaveric Center, along with the upgradation of the existing simulation center. Now, the relevance of both these go much beyond the four walls of this university, and I'm sure those who are over here will learn this when they pass out of here. Because the job skills are now becoming increasingly driven by the newer concepts of artificial intelligence, cyber security, quantum, etc., etc. And maybe the skills that we learned yesterday for today have already become obsolete today. The pace of evolution is so fast. And with our 70% of the population below the age of 40 years, we have an advantage of being a skill force for the rest of the world as well. But let's not forget that this advantage is not going to last very long, maybe just about 2 or 3 decades. Then we start growing old, like some other nations, because it's like a cycle which goes on. But as long as this advantage has been destined to be yours, yours I mean this generation, I think it would be unfair to yourself if you are not able to make the best of it. And to that extent, because in India, of course, we never had a lack of human acumen, never a lack of human talent or human resource. And we were skilled even from birth. We didn't have a formal skill training, but we knew how even an illiterate housewife would know how to keep the chulha warm. And that was from the legacy. So we had all these skills which had traveled down partly as a part of traditional knowledge, partly as a part of the practices handed over from one generation to the successive generation. But now you are in a more fortunate era that you have institutionalized centers to impart this training to you. And since the skill also has undergone sophistication, you can actually polish yourself up, groom yourself in the newer areas that I've just mentioned. And to that extent, in India, even today, in the age group of 20 to 25, only 5% of the population is skilled in a formal fashion or through a formal institutionalized training, which I don't mean that they are not skilled, because they are good learners, Indians, and they are very hardworking as well, and which is something which is recognized the world over. When I discovered in the UK that they were preferring boys and girls in medical schools, to a large extent, in fact, we even started some scholarship for the boys there, even the other colleges, like King's College and all. So I said, why do you prefer them? They said, sir, because your boys and girls don't take an off on the weekdays. So we have an assured crowd to give the night duties on Saturdays and Sundays. So you have so many other traits which make up for the lack of material resources. That's how, I mean, if we had, from the state of Gujarat, if we had someone like Sarabhai, if you go to the archives and see the picture of Sarabhai carrying some of his saman on the carriage of his bicycle, you would imagine against what constraints he worked. But nevertheless, he had the determination, he had the resolve, and he had the talent. And so also about Homi Baba. So from that point of view, but yes, you are advantaged because you have the value addition provisions as well. And therefore, now that this government, particularly after Prime Minister Modi has taken over, is very open to the private sector, because we realize that if we have to move on from where we are, we cannot move in isolation. The age of silos is over, and you can't leave everything to the government. No successful country does that, whichever the party, whichever the government. And that is why even in the government sector, we have started this process of integration. In the last year budget also, 5 national CEOs for skilling was envisaged. We had a very successful experiment with Atal Tinkering Labs. I've been going around the country. In fact, after next week, I think I'll be in IIT Gandhinagar itself. We have now started second phase with 50,000 ATLs. And to that extent, I think this is a very well-timed initiative of having a skill center like Lakshya, which is not only contemporary, but also very futuristic. And of course, the cadaveric center and the simulation center, which you already had, is being upgraded, is something that we didn't have when we were medicos. So many of us would make a laughing stock of ourselves by not being able to give a proper intravenous injection, and an experienced nurse would come and teach you. So, and of course, it was very inhuman learning biopsies and lumbar punctures on live patients and making them subject of your cruelty or your inexperience. But thank God, we didn't have private colleges that time, and the patients were very entertaining. They accepted you as well. So this advantage of the newer kind of technology has come now. And particularly, in fact, I was discussing the other day that with a gastroenterologist also, that these invasive procedures like endoscopies, gastroscopies, colonoscopies could actually be trained in the simulation centers before a medico is actually exposed to a live patient. And therefore, as far as the ministry is concerned, as I said, in the last 10 years, the progress that we have made is being recognized the world over, because we live in an age of evidence-based statement. You can't talk without data and statistics, and the data is obvious. We were just about 350, 400 startups. Today we are more than 2 lakh. And I'm glad I was told that you have about 30 patents from this. Even in patents, we are now crossed 1 lakh. And more important than that is that out of these patents, almost 55% or 60% are Indian resident patents. Which means earlier on there was a refrain कि साहब वो हरगोविंद खुराना को Nobel Prize मिला तो विदेश गया तब मिला, यहाँ थोड़ी कुछ हो सकता है, पेटेंट गया वहाँ से करवा के आया. So these are the boys and girls who were brought up here, born here, groomed here, trained here, and filed their patents from here. And we rank number 6 in patents, just as we rank number 3 in the startup ecosystem. And this all has happened in the last 1 decade. Even our publications, we rank number 3 with about 2 lakh, more than 2 lakh publications happening only in one last year, 2025. Now again, the refrain is कि सब publications तो हो जाती है, उसकी quality कुछ नहीं है. I think that may be true till about 10 years back, but now the scenario has undergone a change because of the excess of information, democratization of the availability of information. Possibly in my times, we didn't have easy access to journals. We went to libraries where they would alternate the subscription, and that one subscription, one nation is another game changer, which Prime Minister Modi brought in. For example, in some of the libraries, they would get British Medical Journal 1 month, and the next month will be New England Journal. So from one country, one nation journal would alternate like that. But now it's no more there, and the result is that I was just calculating at the end of the year, they gathered the data. As far as publications are concerned, the first 100 publications, or maybe if you take, for example, 100, the 10% were cited from India. So the citation or how many references you got is a reflection of the quality of your publication. So which means we are now actually in the global frame. We have also launched a number of dedicated missions in the last 8-10 years. I just want to briefly hint out at you because that, according to your aptitudes, of course, the national education policy is a great game changer. If you did your class 12 to become a doctor and somehow you didn't become, you don't become prisoner of the subjects chosen by your parents. Because your parents thought that you'll become a doctor, big 2-3 bungalows, 2-4 cars. But once you don't do, then what do? वो जनता की सेवा करेंगे तो वो तो कहने की बात है, असली तो यही था. तो माँ बाप का भी प्लान फेल हो गया बेटे का भी, but you have no choice, you have to do BSc in biology, MSc then, PhD then you become a scientist, so become a scientist by default, or a teacher by default. Here, if you don't become a doctor and your heart is not into that, you change over to literature, change over to mathematics. So I think that one of the biggest blessings that has happened in the last 10 years is National Education Policy 2020. And under that, we have started the National Quantum Mission, which has virtually 4 different pillars or verticals. We have the computing, we have communication, we have sensing, we have materials. It was launched just about 3 years back for 8 years, but you'll be glad to know that only last week. And we had envisaged targets for us. For example, we had envisaged that at the end of 8 years, we'll be completing 1,000 kilometer secure quantum communication. But we have done, 2,000. But out of 2,000, we have already completed 1,000 in just 3 years. So less than half the time. So we are already moving at a very fast pace. We already have 4 thematic hubs. And why I'm saying so is that we are catering to almost 43 institutions across the country. And therefore, we are open to the universities and colleges to partake of this National Quantum Mission by the Department of Science and Technology. The India AI mission was also launched in the year 2024. Again, we have 4 pillars, the compute pillar, the data set, the training, the future skills, innovation. And now as we were seeing, we're going around the AI being there everywhere. We have different kinds of ecosystem mechanisms available for the startups. I'm not going to detail about that, but why I'm saying so is that everything is available on your mobile if you do some search, because many of the youngsters ask me where to find it. So it's all there in your pocket. And those who are actually using it are doing wonders. And I keep interacting with these young boys and girls because they are that's a very educative experience. I came across a young girl who just passed out of class 12. She came from one of the most remote areas, and that too violence-inflicted area. She had earned an entrance into IIT. So I told her, I said, beta, tune to kamal kar diya. No tuition, no coaching, no access, and the social economic status was also not that flattering. So what she did, she took out this from her pocket and said, Uncle, 14 hours, 8 months, IIT crack. She's teaching me the formula. So why I'm telling these boys and girls, everything is there. It's for you to avail of it. This was not available in my times. This is a great democratization. We have already started programs specific to students, like, for example, the Nidhi program, which is the National Initiative for Developing and Harnessing Innovation. We have technology hubs. We have an Inspire Manik program. We start off from the school level, let's say, because I thought we have to catch them young. And most of the undoing happens at the level of class 9 to 12 because the parents sometimes don't realize the real aptitude of the child. So for the girls also, we have started a program called Vigyan Jyoti, beginning from class 9 itself, to mentor them for their inherent skills and their aptitudes. Inspire Manik is another school where we organize competition among the different schools, and then they give it a challenge and pick up the few ones from the country, from the entire country, and then try to engage them in a specialized training. For women, we have a whole lot, starting from class 12 level, but I'm not going to detail, but you can go through. We have a Wise Kiran program for the graduation level, post-graduation, and I think very thoughtfully, I'm glad that the officers agreed to that. We've also started a mid-career program for women, because many of the women sometimes are constrained to leave their career for family reasons, other reasons, and then they want to get back, but in the government setup, you don't have that kind of a provision. So we've started that as well. We have only 2 years back started specifically, exclusively for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, the STI hubs. And that too, we pick up the most weaker sections among these reserved categories, so that the real deserving ones are benefited. We have already about 56 STI hubs of this nature across the country. We are also now standing on the platform of a university. The president may be, and the president and the vice chancellor may be keen to know कि हमारा क्या. So it will be not very flattering if they have not gone through what they are looking for. We have a very popular program called the PERS program, which is the promotion of university research and scientific excellence, where we support young researchers and we give them support for 4 years. We have another program called FIST program, the Fund for Improvement of Science and Technology in the Higher Education Institutions, where we provide infrastructure support. We even set up, we also set up establishments in the university. We have a program called SURE, which is State University Research Excellence Program, primarily meant for private universities. This is again through ANRF. ANRF was also this government's initiative, the Anusandhan National Research Foundation. We have a SAIF program called Sophisticated Analytic Instrument Facilities. Again, we are providing these latest instruments and gadgets to the universities through the Department of Science and Technology. We have a SATHI program where we provide sophisticated analytic and technical help. So there's a whole lot of spectrum which you can avail from us. For women, we also have exclusive Curie scheme. For that is, of course, for the women universities exclusively. That is consolidation of university research, innovation, and excellence. We have the PAIR program, partnerships for acceleration of innovation and research. This is again through the National Research Foundation. So the whole lot of programs which you may not be aware of, but you could avail of. Very recently, we started a program called Stuti, that is synergistic training program utilizing science and technology infrastructure, where we are funding your workshops. So there's a lot much I am carrying in my pocket for you. Now you have to first decide what you can use of and come forward to avail of it. And very recently, of course, we started the National Research Foundation, which I can say with all the confidence is a better version of the National Research Foundation in the rest of the world, where we have such foundations like, for example, US or Germany, because we also added traditional knowledge to it. We've given a more holistic, our governing body not only consists of scientists, also consists of social scientists, humanities, etc. And now the Research and Development Innovation Fund, which is 1 lakh crore, and again, to support the private. And very recently, just about 2 months back, we have open to private sector, even our nuclear sector. So next time, the Parul University can have a nuclear medicine as well as, because we have also opened nuclear medicine research to the private sector, which is a great turning point, because our Tata Center in Bombay has come out with some of the amazing remedies, like one nuclear medicine remedy for acute lymphoblastic leukemia. So you could even start a center, because it's going to be a huge vocational opportunity. So with these few words, I hope I will come back again and be more interactive and try to also learn from these boys and understand them. But what is important for you to learn, understand is that you, when we talk of Viksit Bharat, that is said, they are saying it just for saying. Actually, ये आपके हिस्से में आया. Because 20 years from now, you will be in the prime of your age, you will be in the prime of your career, you will be in the prime of your energy. So 2047 का झंडा आपके हिस्से में आया है, ये तो सिर्फ बोल रहे हैं. But yes, their responsibility to build in your capacity to perform yourself up to that expectation. And that is a blessing given to you by God, not by choice, because you didn't choose this date and time for birth, nor did your parents. It just happened. But now it's up to you to also vindicate this blessing of God by living up to those expectations and those huge targets set for the year 2047. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. It was indeed a pleasure to be here amongst the audience to listen to Dr. Jitendra Singh's wisdom and his ideas. Thank you so much. Can we have a standing ovation for his speech? I'll quickly request our chief guest to please leave an autograph for us with words of wisdom. Sir is saying he is going back wiser than before after coming to university. क्या बात है? Thank you so much, sir. Sir has a flight to catch. We would have loved to have you here for a longer period of time. We love to host you again, sir. Thank you so much for coming, sir.